smoking the pot? Reefer madness or madness about reefer? A Rep DJ report. I think it's the government's responsibility to prohibit a substance like marijuana.
I do not think it's the government's responsibility, because if we want to do something, then we should be able to do it. And if we're not harming anyone by using the substance, I don't think that the government should have any say in the matter, because frankly it's none of their business. But if someone happens to be under the influence and hurt someone else, then
that's where the government steps in.
That's where the government steps in.
It should be regulated the same way that alcohol and tobacco are.
Yeah.
And that they're both dangerous substances if not used correctly.
Yes, and also there are advantages to having, for the government selling pot, because they can
By that you mean in tax revenues, right?
Yeah. And with the tax revenues, it's estimated that about $6.2 billion would be made, and that would just help our economy.
That would help close budget deficits in different states and stuff like that. That's good.
Death due to substances. Tobacco on average per year, 340,000 to 450,000 people die. Alcohol, highway deaths and other murders, 150,000 plus. Caffeine due to stress and heart attacks, 1,000 to 10,000. Deaths due to cannabis or marijuana, my friends, 0 per year.
Excuse me, sir. Do you know that caffeine kills more people than marijuana does? Actually, it kills about 1,000 to 10,000 people per year. So next time, you might want to put that down and pick up a joint.
Egg in your face.
$7 billion is spent each year enforcing the pot laws. If marijuana was taxed like tobacco or alcohol, $6.2 billion could be generated.
How do you feel about the legalization of marijuana? Is it morally right for our government?
Oh, you talking about that boo-boo mama?
I don't think a government, either state or national, has a moral obligation either to prohibit or to allow marijuana. It would seem to me to be the right of the voters, or the right of the voters through their elected representatives. And if that's not the issue, then it's a medical issue. Done.
I believe that the legalization of marijuana is morally right.
Yeah. If you can get drunk, then why can't you get high?
Ooh.
Do you think the government has the moral responsibility to prohibit marijuana for their citizens?
Well, that's a good question. I guess I'm ambivalent.
What do you mean by that exactly?
Well, I mean, I think that prohibition was stupid, but then again, I enjoy a party. But I've never smoked pot, so I don't really have any interest in it. So.
But do you think the government has a responsibility to regulate other people's interest in it, is the question.
Okay, well, I'm trying to apply it to something that actually, for example, cigarette smoke. I mean, I appreciate the fact that people don't smoke cigarette smokes around me, or cigarettes rather around me, and I guess I wouldn't want people smoking pot around me, but then again, I don't really hang out with people who smoke pot, dear God. I don't know, it's a tough question, because I feel like people have the right, to go ahead and do what they want to do, as long as they're not harming other people. But I really think things like heroin should definitely not be legal.
Right, so your viewpoint is, since that marijuana has proven to be less deadly than some drugs that are legal, like alcohol.
Right.
And like overdoses and just basic harm to
Although
society.
alcohol is really bad for you too, and taken in great amounts, and then if you drive, etc. So I mean, I think you could make the argument, and actually I'm sort of talking myself out of this. I think if you made the argument for alcohol, or eating too much McDonald's or whatever, I would say, back off, government. This is not your business. So I guess the same thing could be applied to pot, but I'm conditioned to think that it's bad and dirty, so I don't really, So I just sort of think, well, good, sure, government. But I think anything you can do to destroy the drug cartels is a good thing. It's a pet peeve of mine, drug cartels, hate them. But then once they get rid of pot, then what are people going to want? There's always going to be a drug cartel, I'm sorry to say.
All right.
Hey, Grayson. What's going on, Mr. Bruner?
How's it going? We got Ian and Ben. What are you guys, just making a movie for the...
This is for my intro to moral political leadership class.
Oh, cool.
just gonna ask you a quick question.
I gotta answer a question.
Right. Do you believe? All right, you start filming.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Mr. Bruner of the middle school. Do you believe that the legalization of marijuana is morally right for our country?
Yes.
I got it. That was a quick yes.
That good? What do you got to think on that one?
Yeah.
I don't think we should be prohibited. Commerce should be prohibited in any sense, no matter what it is. Okay. Thanks.
Jamie Ball, is the legalization of marijuana morally right?
Yeah,
Why do you believe so?
because, well, first of all, I think the legalization of all drugs is really right, and I think it should happen. It would stop the whole U.S. drug war.
Okay, then don't
I believe anybody has the right to put anything they want into their own body. The only thing they can't do, or shouldn't be allowed to do, is do things that could harm anyone else, like drive or operate machinery, which is already illegal. Other than that,
prohibit the use of that particular drug versus other drugs like alcohol, tobacco, and things like that.
Well, I think they should prohibit marijuana, without a doubt, because I've actually seen what it can do to people. Even though people say that it's not physically addictive, I've seen people get addicted to the lifestyle, and in college and stuff. Then I've seen kids literally go from being bright kids to almost mentally deficient because of their dependence on that. You know, having to wake up every morning and take a bong hit before they can go to class and stuff like that. And I think that's just bad. And I think the government should prevent that from happening.
How do you find that in comparison to like alcohol, which can have a similar effect?
Well, yeah, I'm not real. I would not advocate the lowering of a drinking age. Now, I do agree that there are. You could say it's hypocritical that they outlaw one and not the other. But then again, you can drink alcohol in moderation, and it actually has some benefits.
Health-wise.
Yeah, health-wise. Whereas I don't think you can say that for marijuana unless
What
you're
about
talking about
things like glaucoma, things like that? Yeah.
Well, but then that says medicinal use.
Well, do you feel it's the government's responsibility to help you decide your lifestyle,
No,
even if
I
you
don't
make a
think
wrong choice?
No, I don't think the government should decide what you think and what you believe and what you don't believe. But I think they have a right to pass laws for the safety of the average American, and people under the influence can commit crimes, and therefore.
But there's many things. I don't understand that you
Yeah.
mentioned the hypocritical nature of one, not the other. But if you're going to do one, do you think they should prohibit alcohol again?
Well, I don't know that they will be able to prohibit alcohol again if they tried, but it wouldn't kill me if they did. I mean, it's destructive decision making.
Do you think the negative effects of, say, like the drug war and things like that outweigh the other one? Do you think the negative effects of like?
No, I think if we turned it loose, I think it would just get worse and become more prevalent. And they say it's a stepping stone drug, et cetera, et cetera. So.
Does that include countries that have already decriminalized it, like the Netherlands and Portugal, which actually have lower rates?
But see, that's a different culture though. When you're coming off of prohibition, and then suddenly you say, "All right, it's all okay now," then there tends to be a bit of splurging, if you will, instead and endeavoring and that sort of stuff, and that's not good.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Wood, and I'm going to ask him, do you believe that the legalization of marijuana is morally right?
I don't think the legalization of an illicit substance is a moral issue.
All right. How do you feel about the legalization of marijuana? Is it morally right for our country to do?
Tyler, turn into your Black heritage.
Mr. Randolph. What? Yes, you can. What do you think about legalizing marijuana? Is it morally right?
That's a yes.
Is that a yes or no?
Do you think the legalization of marijuana is morally right?
Of course, man.
Really? Why do you think so, Connor?
Oh God, put me on the spot here. All right. Why do I think they should legalize marijuana?
They shouldn't. Stupid.
That they shouldn't?
Definitely not.
Tax regulations.
You done? That's all. That's all you.
It's a plan.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. The legalization of marijuana. Is it morally right for our country?
Why are you asking me this right now?
Because that's come on.
What is this for?
It's for intro to moral political leadership.
Is this gonna be published?
Yeah.
Where? On the internet?
No, it's just for our exam.
For your exam?
Yeah.
I believe that it would solve a lot of problems for our country.
All right.
Including taxation.
Yeah, you do.
I think there should be very strict laws. You know, if a minor is caught in possession, right? He should hit the slammer. If you're caught driving while intoxicated, you get crushed.
Caught while high, you drive slower when you're high.
How would you know? It would free up jail space, taxpayer dollars, help the recession. Hey, the war on drugs, save a lot of money. Illegal immigration, people wouldn't be dying like crazy in Mexico. Solve a lot of problems.
Plus, we wouldn't have to listen to all the hippies complain about nothing.
Stupid hippies. Okay, does that help you?
Yeah, we got it.
If this comes back to bite me, I'm coming after you.
Yeah, we got you.
You'll be in Louisiana.
As a trusted member of the St. Christopher's community, what do you think about the legalization of marijuana?
Is it morally right?
Is it morally right?
Morally right. I think it has nothing to do with morals, personally. I think that you should be able to do what you want to do.
Money.
Word.
The reason the issue of legalizing marijuana has not been addressed is because it's a toxic issue for candidates. It is hard to get elected under the banner of legalizing marijuana. Are your kids smoking that Bama Lancia, that Boo Boo Bama, that those doobies, that good giggles? Are your kids smoking that rainy day woman? Have you ever found your kids smoking that sticky icky,